Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Femafricmaths channel. Today, we are excited about our interview. It is the first of an AI expert who has honored our invitation, and we are very happy to hear his story. So, welcome, Abigail, and we'd like you to introduce yourself and tell us about your journey with mathematics.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for this opportunity to share my story and the invitation. My name is Abigail Annkah. I am an applied mathematician by profession, but currently a research software engineer with the Google AI Lab in Accra. So my career pathway was started right after high school. I was a science student in a very popular school in Cape Coast. Then
Do you mind mentioning the name of the school, or you don't want to?
No, I don't mind. It's Holy Child School.
Oh, okay, Holy Co. I'm sure they'll come. They'll come and watch this interview. So, yeah, Holy Co, you've gotten a shout out from Abigail. Yeah, sure, you can continue.
Thank you for that. And I pursued a Bachelor of Science degree in statistics, but I finished with a combined major in mathematics and statistics. Now, during my second year at the university, there was a course we could take as an elective called computational math. So we use numerical methods and some code. So there was the option of C++, but at that time we studied with Python programming and used it to solve mathematical problems, And I was excited with the course because it was my first experience with real-time coding, but from a mathematical perspective. So it wasn't that much, but the little we did got me excited. And I took it upon myself to take free elective courses. Then it was a bit difficult when you're a combined major. I don't know the arrangement now, but things worked out for me, fortunately. And I took the free elective courses, advanced classes in computational math, until the end of the third year or fourth year. Then I did my master's thesis, undergraduate thesis, in something related to Python programming. So it was image diffusion using Python programming. Now, so it was image diffusion using Python programming. Right after I did a 1-year national service program, I did a 1-year national service at the math department as a teaching assistant. And then during that period, I was invited to apply for the I was invited to apply for the African Masters in Machine Intelligence under the AIMS initiative, which was supposed to be held in Rwanda then. Now it's in Senegal. I went for it. I was part of the first cohort. And following that, it was a year course. At the end of the year's course, I put all my eggs in one basket and applied for residency in Ghana, partly because I was homesick, which is a Google AI lab. And after 18 months of residency, I converted to a full-time job as a research software engineer. And that is what I do.
Wow, that's interesting. So you said you went to the university to study Bachelor of Science in Statistics. Was that what you wanted to do right from secondary school, or you had a change of plans then?
Great question. Was that what I wanted to do? No. So first off, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I had a handout of possible areas to consider. As a science student, one option to go for is medical student, so being a doctor. So then after that suggestion, I thought it wise to pursue it because my justification was I want to reach out to people every day, make huge impacts in their lives, touch lives, various groups from children to adults, and medicine seemed like a good opportunity. And now I realize every job you do can make you access people and touch their lives. It's how you go about it. So when I applied for the university, I chose the medical option. But fortunately for me, then it was like unfortunately, my I didn't get all A's, so I didn't make the straight A's. And I think it was just not meant for me. So I didn't make it for the medical student list. However, I was given an opportunity to study the statistics. And once I was told, my first question was, what does it entail? And once I was, the answer I got was, it's somewhat mathematics. And that was all I needed because I had always loved math from junior high school. I was the type you find me solving questions on my own, taking new topics and then answering the problems. If anyone knows of Akiola, it was like my best friend. I knew I had the solutions to almost everything and I just enjoyed it. So if math is what I was given, then let's do it. So yeah. And when I started, I realized that is what I actually wanted to do.
That's very interesting. So for us, we want young girls to see the diversity in careers when you study mathematics, and also emphasize that there's no one path. Like you said, sometimes you may think something is good for you, but in the end, you enjoy something better. I have a similar story, right? I wanted to do another course at the university, ended up with mathematics, and realized back then, like you said, I thought it was unfortunate, but later on I realized it was a fortunate thing that came my way that I didn't get my first choice. So you work with Google. Can you tell us a bit about what you do in layman terms? So there's a 15-year-old girl watching you. How would you describe your day-to-day activities to them?
Yes, I could do that. So my day-to-day activity is it's not that much of coding. I'll start with that. As a software engineer, you're expected to write code, build products, make contributions, test your code or whatever you are building to see if it is working as it should, monitor performances and all. But here at Google, we work in teams and we believe in making information, organizing information and making it universally accessible and useful. So my team, for instance, what we work on is we use satellite imagery to map up Africa's built environment. So in turn, the work we do goes into the product Google Maps. On a day-to-day basis, you have meetings with your team members where you discuss the progress of what you are doing, the performance of the model you are using to solve your problem. So in our case, we want to identify buildings in Africa, more buildings in Africa. So are we doing good? How well are we doing? Can we do better? What is the problems we are facing and how do we address them? And we also meet with other people because, as I said, it's a team-wise effort. So it's not just a team of software engineers. There's the product managers, there's the program managers, there's the designers, there's a whole lot of people who come together. There's the senior leads, there's the junior ones, and everyone's contribution is as important as the other. So no one feels left out. We can count on each other, we support each other, and aside meeting for such, there's the lunch break, there's the fun events, there's the social networking, and we have a hybrid system now where you can work from home, work at the office, and with both it's flexible. Once you make your contributions, you can take all the time you need to have time with yourself. So that's how
Wow.
my typical day looks like, yes, and that's what I do.
Yeah, I like your focus on teamwork, right? As young people, we grow up thinking you always had to be the best on your own. But when you grow up, you realize that life is more than you being the best. You always have, you wouldn't have everything. You need others to contribute to achieve a goal. Okay, you work in Google, and for me, so my postdoc is funded by Google AI. And when people, I remember when I updated my LinkedIn profile that's Ames Google AI postdoctoral fellow, people started messaging me, "Do you work with Google? Do you work with Google?" I think it's almost most people's dream job to work with Google, right? So, how does it feel like working with Google? Was it a dream, or for you was yeah after the program this was what was available and you went for it? Was it a dream come true?
Definitely, yes. I mean, when we are talking about the big tech companies, Google is one of them. And I am at the start of my career. I'm thriving so well because of the support I have from members of my team, the system that is in place for me as a female, as a mother, as a student, as a scientist, research scientist, um, to give my best. So being with Google is like a big plus for me. And it didn't come out as a handout, like because I was there for the 18-month residency, there's a it's automatic that I would make it. I had to go through the process where you are queried to see. So it's more like you were here with us for 18 months and you want to continue to be with us. Tell us why we should keep you and what you can offer to the team. And this again wasn't an easy task because there's interviews to prepare for, and interviews you may or may not have depending on what you have done, and a whole lot. But again, big ups to my team, my supervisors, my mentors. They just urged me on, prepared me, and things sailed smoothly. So yeah, this is great for me. And I am hoping to learn a lot, which I am. Like every day, what I do, I'm exposed to so much. It's interesting, sometimes somewhat demanding if you want to consider it that way. But I don't think there's any easy job out there, you know. Even not doing anything is as difficult as it sounds. So, yes, I enjoy what I do, and that's what keeps me going.
Wow, that's interesting. So you mentioned you were showing appreciation to your supervisors and your mentors for giving you the best experience in order to work, maybe even move from your residency to your job or even your current role. So maybe would you like to mention a few mentors or people who have supported you or inspired you along your journey? We like to showcase mentors like you, but also appreciate mentors who have given us the opportunity to do what we are doing. So would you like to share anything about mentors who have been with you on your journey?
Yes, there's a whole lot. I mean, is there a limit to the number of names I can mention?
Oh, so the limit is time, right? So,
Okay,
yes.
okay, let me just give major highlights. So here at Google, there was Nyalen Morosi. She started with me. There's John Quinn, there's Abdullah, there's Mustafa, and they are my peers. Right now I have Wojciech, I have Segi. Prior to that, there was at the university, I had Lillian Che, I had Dr. Ralph, I had Mr. Schwinger, and then at Holy Child, there was Mr. Mankwa, Mr. Okra, Mr. Ansa. You know, the list keeps going on and on. Like everywhere, I had people to help. In high school, there was Mr. Bukari, there was Mr. Moro. There's a whole lot, but I really appreciate these people and I hold them so dear. Sometimes I wish I could go back to them and tell them that this is where I am and you had a role to play in this, so you should be proud of what you did. Like I am proof that when you give it, it reaps, you know. And I hope to do that to others, for others as well along my journey once I excel more.
Thanks so much, Abigail. So you talked about how your work is related with Google Maps, right? Making it better, right? Trying to make it better each time. You said you're a mapping builder. We have young people studying mathematics and they wonder, what do you do with maths? So can you tell us a bit of maths that you use or you don't use any maths at all, so that they see that, okay, this maths that I'm doing is relevant in everyday life?
That's a good question. When you are considering pursuing AI, be it as a software engineer, front end or back end, that's another difference, or any other related um, subfield of AI, depending on the area you want to work with. If it's data science, you might be told to focus on statistics. But either ways, there's always a bit of math. The math comes in because we are always coding, we are writing algorithms, and it's like a sequence of steps or instructions you feed to the AI model to help it learn whatever it's supposed to, whatever patterns it should learn from your data set or whatever it should do for you, whatever problem solving. Linear algebra is well known out there as a prerequisite if you want to thrive successfully with models, deep learning models or language models. Statistics is one of them. There's calculus. So just linear algebra and calculus tells you that, yes, there's math. You don't need to know all the nitty-gritties of what calculus is, pre-calculus or linear algebra. You should understand some basics and how it transfers to the AI models or the methods we use. And that is math at play. So if you have some background in math or not, because of the resources we have now, and if you're willing to learn, you can learn, but that is some math at play in AI.
Wow. Okay. The time really goes very, very fast. So I'm
Yes.
going to ask you just two questions before we leave. What is your motivation for what you do? You said you always want to give back. You always want to give back. What's your motivation for what you do?
Wow, that's a good question. This is my motivation. To start off, I mentioned the whole list of people. I have them in mind and at heart. And each time they gave a suggestion, each time they pointed me in the right direction, each time they gave an encouragement or a rebuke or a reproach or some assistance, that was a step towards me being where I am now. And for me, the least I could do is give back because, there's this thing that the latter should be greater than the former. And it's not that bad. I mean, I think if you look back and if there's someone you've mentored and the person is doing way better than you, I think that is an achievement because they don't have to go through what you went through, the bad part or the bad aspect. What I should have been told, you told them. And for me, that motivates me to go beyond, go the extra mile so that all these people will know that their input was valued and paid off. And then it can be a milestone for others to look up to and then achieve better because we can all do what we want to do. Yes, that's one of it. And then the other is there's so much going on here in Africa and all over the world. There's so much talent. I believe I'm one of those talents that can contribute. And so why not give my best? Yeah, so let's give our best. That's what I'm doing.
Wow.
Or trying to do, I believe.
Yes. I was left with one question, but what you said has led me to add another one. So you talked about the fact that you are motivated to give back so that people do not make the same mistakes that you made, right? So a younger Abigail, tell me just one thing you wish you had known me probably at a university, at a university that's now that you wished you had known earlier on.
At the university, once Abigail realized she enjoyed Python programming, I would have found a mentor or take an advantage of, because back then I remember there were courses on Coursera and I took some but never really finished them. So be more disciplined at achieving a task because then it helps you build up a skill set. And those skill sets, the benefits are seen in time. So later at some point when you're solving a problem, then you realize what you learned somewhere chips in and makes it so easy. So that's one thing I could think of on top of my head. Yes, I won't hesitate to reach out to people when I think I need help and not try to figure it all on my own because figuring it all on your own is not added to what you do once it's out there. No one will know that you choose to mention your mentors like Dr. Angela mentored me, but no one has to know that she actually taught me how to write x equals 3, So you don't have to figure it all out. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Which I think think for most of us, especially for a course like mathematics, right, we suffer alone, right? You try to solve things and it's not going well, and you think you're not good enough, right? But like you said, once you reach out, it could be a tutor, it could be a lecturer, it could even be a colleague. They'll be there to help you out. It could be just being one sentence is saying you have that aha moment and realize, oh, okay, this isn't really that difficult like I thought. No, so far. So the time has really gone so fast, and we are yeah, I don't even believe we are already at the end of the interview. But before we go, there are young girls watching us from across the world, especially most of our audience are from Africa. So top out of our top 10 cities, 7 of them are African cities. So there's a girl from Nairobi, from Kenya. No, Nairobi's in Kenya, right? From Uganda, from Sudan watching you. What would be your inspiring message to this young girl? Yes, what would be your inspiring message to this young girl about what you are doing and what they could be?
So the world now has presented us with a lot of opportunities. Make sure you tap into those opportunities. Figure out, not entirely on your own, but with the help of others, which of those opportunities will favor you, and thrive in that space. Because now, because of how powerful our mindset is, and because of the talent, the energy, the information, the resources, I believe in one statement, which is yes, we can. Once you start, you can. You may fall down at some point, but you have to get yourself up and continue. And until you are done, you won't appreciate the beauty of the journey. So if you've started, don't give up. If you're yet to start, please do so. Time is not always on our side. And keep encouraging yourself, keep reaching out to people, keep being your the best version of yourself, because it will pay off eventually.
Wow. Yes, we can. That's
Yes, we
that's a
can.
yes message to you, the young masculine watching us. Thanks, Abigail, so much for honoring our invitation, and we look forward to sharing your story with the world. Bye.